Hello and welcome to New Play Day on Shakesyear. We are going to start in on a play that has so many names in it that I will probably pronounce wrong. I'm apologizing in advance. We are going to be working on Sejanus, His Fall, which was most likely written by Ben Jonson. But Ben Jonson, the original version of the play that was written in like 1603 or 1604 was performed like twice. And in those performances, they got like booed off the stage. So the play was then later reworked and cut down and all this stuff. And as a new version of the play was then published, Ben Jonson put a little blurb on the front of that version saying that he had removed some contributions from one of his co-authors who was some sort of genius, so as to not offend said genius. And there's a lot of speculation that that means William Shakespeare was the original co-contributor to the writing of this play. But there's no way to really know for sure. What we do think happened, again, we don't know for sure, we do know that Sejanus' Fall was performed by the King's Men, which Shakespeare was part of, and he likely performed one of the roles. He might have played Tiberius in this. And the experience of getting booed off the stage while playing Tiberius, some people think that maybe that led to Shakespeare writing Othello, fueled some of the themes and some of the writing styles that went into Othello. Another fun thing about this play, Ben Jonson was kind of sort of like arrested or charged with popery and treason. Popery being promoting Roman Catholic religion. He was accused of popery, promoting popery and committing treason with this play. And nobody's exactly sure where those accusations came from, what they were inspired by, but there is some speculation that this play, Sejanus, might hint at the life of the Earl of Essex, who was executed a few years prior to it being written, or that it mirrors the trial of William Raleigh. So that might have led to some of this, like there's too much religion going on in this play. And also, this was right about when King James was coming to power, and he was very touchy about hints of maybe regicide or all of these sorts of things. So Ben Jonson was kind of sort of arrested, maybe charged with some stuff. Nothing ever really came of it. So there's not a ton of records on that, why or where it came from, but it does make it a fun, controversial play that was performed a couple times in the 1600s. They got booed off stage and then wasn't resurrected again until like 1928. And there's been a few productions in recent years in recent places as people are trying to revive the play. But just the history of it alone is kind of fascinating. And also, speaking of history, Sejanus was an actual man. He was a soldier in Rome in like the year 14. You know, he died in the year 31, spoilers. But he was a soldier in Rome, and he sort of rose through the ranks of society, and he became a favorite of the Roman Emperor Tiberius, who was not necessarily a favorite of all of the people that were living in Rome at the time. So I'm not going to tell you too much more about Sejanus' life because that's what this play is about. So let's get started. We're going to get to hear from Sabinus today in Act 1, Scene 1, right at the top of the thing. And Sabinus and his colleague Silius are both sort of gentlemen in Rome. Silius is a soldier or a general, and Sabinus is just sort of a nobleman, sort of a gentleman in Rome, and they're in the Roman court. The two of them enter into the court, and Silius is like, hey, we almost never see you here at court. And Sabinus is like, yeah, then I guess I must be doing something right. And Silius is like, yeah, this place isn't really for people like us. And Sabinus says, no, Silius, we are no good engineers. We want their fine arts, and their thriving use should make us graced or favored of the times. We have no shift of faces, no cleft tongues, no soft and glutinous bodies that can stick like snails on painted walls, or on our breasts creep up to fall from that proud height, to which we did by slavery, not by service, climb. We are no guilty men, and then no great. We have no place in court. office in state that we can say we owe unto our crimes. We burn with no black secrets, which can make us dear to the pale authors, or live feared of their still waking jealousies, to raise ourselves a fortune by subverting theirs. We stand not in the lines that do advance to that so courted point. So, he's not a fan of the government. Neither of them are fans of the government. And this monologue is rather dripping with sarcasm and calling out the hypocrisies in the current government as Sabinus sees it. He's like, we didn't manipulate our way in here. We're not two-faced people. We're not sycophants who grab onto somebody else and ride their coattails to the top. Nobody brought us in and gave us positions in the court. We might have served people, we might have done things honestly, but that didn't earn us any sort of place in the government. We have no office here, we have no status, anything like that. He's like, we don't have any secrets that people can blackmail us with, or that we can blackmail other people with. So this really isn't the place for us to be. We don't fit in here because we're not corrupt like the entire rest of the government is. So this is already starting with the we don't like Tiberius and all of the people that get along with Tiberius stuff. So Sabinus says all of this, and as he's saying it, Satirius and Nata enter sort of in the background. And when Sabinus is done with this monologue, Silius is like, yeah, there's a couple of guys that really do fit in. So getting the perspective that Satirius and Nata are on Tiberius' side, they're sycophants, they kiss the right butts, all of that sort of thing. And then Latiaris enters, and he goes over to talk to Satirius and Nata, and Sabinus waves at him. He's like, hey, how's it going? But then Silius is going to pick up on sort of continuing Sabinus' rant from today on the state of the government and their positions in society and all of that sort of thing. So again, my apologies for probably pronouncing half of those names wrong, but we're just going to go with it. And we're going to say that we are stuck in a political drama, political tragedy. This play is classified as a tragedy. We are stuck in a political, tragic drama play for the next little bit. So we're going to get to hear lots of political thoughts from both sides of the aisle in ancient Rome. Yeah, should be fun. Come on back tomorrow for more. Mwah.